and welcome students. Today we are going to deal with the chapter A Short Monsoon Diary by Ruskin Bond, and this chapter is taken from your book Honeydew. So before we move on to the story, let me ask you a question. Have you ever written a diary? Okay, so some of you must have given it a try, and if you have not, I would recommend you to just go for it. You see, writing diary is a wonderful experience and a lot of fun. It has innumerable benefits. For example, you can capture your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions on the pages. At the same time, you will be able to express yourself in a more better way. You will be able to know yourself in a more better way. And you see, it helps you to make you a better and an organized person also. So what is basically a diary? You see, a diary is a record of personal experiences written day after day over a long period of time. You can also use a diary to note down things that you have planned to do immediately or in future. As I already told you, that it will give you a better organized idea. One of the most famous diaries published as a book is The Diary of a Young Girl or The Diary of Anne Frank. So this is all about the diary. So now you must be wondering, okay, so diary has innumerable benefits, but how to write it? Okay, so wait, before we go on to the diary, you must see the learning objectives of the chapter. So after reading this chapter, how can you be benefited? You see, you'll be able to comprehend the text locally and globally. At the same time, you'll be able to appreciate and enjoy the beauty of nature. It will help you to develop a love and respect for nature. It will enhance your power of imagination and visualization. You will be able to grasp the meanings, the phrases, the sentences, okay, from the given context, and that will help you to get a better proficiency in the language. You will be able to recognize the relationship between the ideas, events, and facts. So now let us see about the author. Before we move on to the chapter, because it is about Ruskin Bond, as you can see, this is our author, and he was born on 19th May 1934. He is an Indian author of British descent. That means he is an Indian author, but his parents belonged to England. He is famous for promoting children's literature in India. He has written many books, okay, for the children. And one of his famous book, The Blue Umbrella is one of his famous book. You see, he lives in Monsoon, India. He got Sarkari Academy Award in 1992 for the work Our Trees Still Grow in Delta, and awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. So this is all about the author. I would also like to add that Ruskin Bond, he is an admirer of nature. He appreciates the beauty of nature so much that you will see in this short monsoon diary that how he is, through his word picture, he will transport you to the land of Monsoon. So now let's come back to the chapter. So what is there inside the chapter? You see, the chapter will mainly deal with the experiences of the author during the monsoon season on the mountains. A long time he lived here in Missouri, and he is portraying, that means he is presenting the silent miracles of nature and life's little joys and regrets. So you see, each and every extract, each and every extracts of the diary, it will talk about the miracles of nature. He has described the beauty and the elegance of the flora and fauna that he witnessed during the lush green monsoon season in the hills. So now, let's come to a short monsoon diary, and I'll give you a model reading of the first, the first diary is written on June 24. So, the diary goes, the first day of monsoon mist, and it's strange how all the birds fall silent as the mist comes climbing up the hill. Perhaps that is what makes the mist so melancholy. Not only does it conceal the hills, it blankets them in silence too. Only an hour ago the trees were ringing with bird songs, and now the forest is deadly still, as though it were midnight. Through the mist, Biju is calling to his sister. I can hear him running about on the hillside, but I cannot see him. So you see, in the first diary, the first date, June 24, he is talking that this is the first day that the mist has descended on the hills. The mist has come, okay, over the hills. With the onset of the mist, you know, the creatures have become completely silent. Nature's oral symphony, symphony means music, and oral means something that is related to your hearing capacity. So this music of the nature has come to a complete standstill. There is no music in the atmosphere now, and that is why he is associating the mist with melancholy. Because you see, as the mist has come, it has covered everything, and it makes people feel sad, silent, and reflective. The climate on the mountain, you see, it changes very soon. Only an hour ago, the trees were echoing with the chirping of the birds, but now you see the forest is gripped in deadly silence. So there is complete silence in the forest now. The author is not able to see anything, but he could easily hear Biju calling his sister, but he could see nothing due to the mist. So this is the mystery, the silent miracles of the mist. I hope you understood the first. You see, the first date is June 24, and I hope it is very clear. So what is the meaning of melancholy? Melancholy means sadness. And you must remember that mist is often, you see, mist is often associated with melancholy. Because when the mist comes, you see, everything is so silent, okay? There is complete silence, and so the people, they feel very sad. So now we come to the next. You see, here you can see the mist climbing up the hills. The mist is climbing up the hills. See, mist is something that is not human. But here, the mist is shown as a human being climbing up the hills. Only the human can climb, means you see the living beings can climb up the hill. But here the mist is, a non-living thing is shown as climbing up the hills. So this is a case of personification. Later on, I will tell you what are the literary devices that are used, and one of the literary devices is personification. So what is personification? You know, when a non-living thing, okay, is attributed the characteristics of a living thing, so it's a case of personification. So you can see the mist and how the mist is concealing the clear vision. That is the reason why he is not able to listen, why he is not able to see anything, and he is only able to listen to the sounds. Is it clear? And there are no sounds because everything is completely silent, but he can easily listen to Biju. Now we come to the second date, that is June 25. I'll do the model reading first. Some genuine early monsoon rain, warm and humid, and not that cold high altitude stuff we have been having all year. The plants seem to know it too, and the first cobra lily rears his head from the ferns as I walk up to the bank and post office. The mist affords a certain privacy. A schoolboy asked me to describe the hill station and valley in one sentence, and all I could say was a paradise that might have been. So you see here, he's talking about, you see, the day witnessed warm and humid weather with rain. So this is the first shower of monsoon rain, and when is this? This is on June 25. But this rain, it was completely different from the cold rain throughout the year in the hills. The rain, why it was different? Because it was a monsoon rain, it was warm and humid. The first blossom of cobra lily, you see, we can see it protrudes its head from the ferns. So what are ferns? Ferns are green plants with no flowers and a lot of long thin leaves. So the cobra lily is also rearing its head. That means it is protruding its head from the ferns. As if you see, the nature is also, welcoming the first shower of the monsoon rain. The author likes to take a walk up to the bank and post office, and I told you about the mist. The mist gives him a certain doubt that you describe this hill station in one single line, he very aptly tells that this is a paradise that might have been. Indeed, you see the beauty of the terrain, the beauty of the landscape is such ecstatic that it is a paradise on earth. So now we move on to the, okay, so here you see this is the cobra lily and how it is just protruding the head, okay, rearing its head from the ferns. This is a fern, picture of the ferns, and you see it is welcoming the first shower of rain. So coming to the next, okay, so here you again have a clear picture of cobra lily. This is basically a pitcher plant, and you know it feeds on the insects. Coming to the next date, that is June 27. Here he is saying that the rains have heralded the arrival of some seasonal visitors, a leopard and several thousand leeches. Yesterday afternoon, the leopard lifted a dog from near the servants' quarter below the school. In the evening, it attacked one of Biju's cows but fled at the approach of Biju's mother, who came screaming imprecations. So what is imprecations? Imprecations means curse. Okay, for example, you see when you invectives, when you curse somebody that may some harm befall you, so that is called imprecations. As for the leeches, I shall soon get used to a little bloodletting every day. Other new arrivals are the scarlet millets, fleeting silently among the leaves like brilliant jewels. No matter how leafy the tree, these brightly colored birds cannot conceal them, although by remaining absolutely silent, they sometimes contrive to go unnoticed. Along came a pair of trombos, unnecessarily aggressive, chasing the millets away. A tree creeper moves rapidly up the trunk of the oak tree, snapping up insects all the way. Now that the rains are here, there is no dearth of food for the insectivorous plants. So you see here he is talking about the onset of rain. Already in the previous date you have seen that they got the first shower of monsoon rain. So the onset of rain announced the arrival of some of the creatures. So heralded means announced. With the rain you see some of the creatures, that means seasonal visitors, which are peculiar to that time of the year, they started coming. For example, you see the leopard, there are many leeches, there is scarlet minivets. Scarlet is the bright red color, okay, and minivets. What is minivets? Minivets, they are birds. In the next slide, you will get a clear picture about it. And drombos. Drombos are again birds. So these are some of the seasonal visitors who have come to this Masuri. Masuri is the place, okay, where we are talking about. We are talking about the place Masuri. Here all these creatures have come to enjoy the monsoon rain. Monsoon shows us the nature in abundance. So you can see the lush growth of nature during the monsoon season. And some creatures, you see the creatures like the bright colored birds, they add to the beauty of nature. You see when green trees are standing and bright colored birds are sitting on it, it is just the image you see, the word picture that he is painting before your eyes. It is just, you see, so enchanting. And it offers a feast to your eyes. It's a treat to your eyes, but at the same time, these are the positive aspects of nature. But you see, he is also talking about how the leopard and the leeches, they create some trouble for the countryside people. So what is the trouble that they create? You see, often when there is monsoon, they have to confront the leopard, and there is an account that the leopard lifted a dog and made it its prey. Then again, it attacked one of Biju's cow. However, when it attacked the cow, luckily Biju's mother came at the nick of time, and her intervention, stopped any other wickedness, prevented any other wickedness of the leopard. But you see how the people of this countryside, they face some of the problems during the monsoon season. For example, confrontation with the leopard, and then the leeches, those leeches which suck the blood each and every day, the unwanted leeches, they stick to the body and they suck the little blood. So here you see he is talking about the regrets and the joys of the people, as well as the beauty of the monsoon season on the hills. So now you can see this is the picture, okay, which will give you a clear impression. So this is, you know, the scarlet minibet, scarlet, the bright red color, and the female is yellow color, and you can see when they are sitting on the tree how beautiful the scene is. You see the red and the yellow minibets which are sitting on the lush green trees. You see they look like the brilliant jewels decorating the tree. So green tree, and in the middle of the tree you see some bright red color and you see some yellow color. So it's, you know, like a beautiful jewelry, okay, decorating the tree. Then you see the minibets, you see they try to go unnoticed. They try to hide, but because of their vivid color, okay, so bright red and yellow, these colors makes them really conspicuous. It's clearly visible. Even if they manage, they are not able to hide themselves. And you see when they are not able to hide themselves, a pair of drongos also come here and they start chasing them. And drongos are very aggressive, you know, ready to fight. Okay, very rude, likely to fight or argue. And the drongos, they start chasing the birds away. Rain, you know, it brings innumerable insects, okay, and the birds, it is a feast time for the birds. The birds get their prey very easily. The tree creeper also, you can see, it is growing rapidly, it is moving up the trunk of the oak tree. That means you see the nature is in its full abundance. The nature is in complete growth. So now you come to the next picture. You see these are colorful birds who are sitting on the tree, and this is the beauty of the monsoon season on the hills. Coming to the next, a pair of drongos. Okay, these are the drongos. The drongos, those who were chasing the minibets away. And now we come to the second part of the chapter, and we come to the date August 2. You see there is a continuous downpour. Okay, so first let me give you a model reading. All night the rain had been drumming on the corrugated tin roof. There has been no storm, no thunder, just the steady swish of the tropical downpour. It helps me to lie awake. At the same time, it doesn't keep me from sleeping. It is a good sound to read by, the rain outside and the quiet inside within. And although the tin roofs are given to springing unaccountable leaks, there is a feeling of being untouched by and yet in touch with the rain. So you see, he is talking about the continuous downpour. Downpour means the rainfall, and the rain is continuously falling on the corrugated tin roof. So what is corrugated tin roof? You know, the tin roof that is shaped into folds. In the next slide it will be more clear to you. The corrugated tin roof is there, and there is a continuous downpour on this. But he is enjoying the music of the rain, the symphony of the nature. He is enjoying it. He is lying awake. He also has the advantage of going off to sleep. The sound of the rain outside, you see, it synchronizes with the quiet inside the writer's mind. Synchronizes, it mixes very well. His soul is able to connect with the sound of the rain outside, and it produces a soothing effect. Okay, a very soothing effect. Although untouched by the drops of rain physically. So the writer, he is inside his house and it is raining outside. So physically he is not in contact with the raindrops, but still the raindrops, they very clearly, you see, they are touching the chords of his heart. The chords of his heart are deeply stirred by the music of the raindrops. So he is able to, spiritually he is able to connect with the sound of the rain. So this is the emotional, impact of the rain, the emotional impact of the nature on Ruskin Bond. So now we move on to the next. Okay, so as I told you, what is corrugated roof? You can see in the picture the roof, okay, which is in the folds. It is in this shape to give more strength, to this roof. So this is the pattern of corrugated roof. So we come to the next, that is August 3. The rain stops. The cloud begins to break up. The sun strikes the hill on my left. A woman is chopping up sticks. I hear the tinkle of of cowbells. In the oak tree, a crow shakes the raindrops from his feather and cows disconsolately. Water drips from a leaking drain pipe, and suddenly, clear and pure, the song of the whistling trees emerges like a dark, sweet scent from the depth of the ravine. So what is ravine? You see, ravine is the valley, and the crow is cowing disconsolately. Disconsolately means unhappily. So what is he trying to speak? So August 3 is the date when the rain stopped for some time, and the sun, you know, it strikes the hill, and it is a time when the people, the creature, take the liberty to go outside, to venture outside. And the writer, you see, introduces us to different images. He is forming images with his word pictures which are coming clearly in front of our eyes, and it is appealing to our, you know, visual senses, to our oral senses. Means oral means something that is related to hearing. So what are the pictures and the images that are coming in front of the eyes? You see a woman, she is chopping woods, and this is for her some household chores. And chores means the daily work, okay, that the woman is taking in her house. And he could hear the tinkling of the cowbells. Some far away in the distant land, maybe, the cowbells, if you can hear the tinkling sound. The crow is shaking raindrops from his feathers, and it is cowing disconsolately. And last but not the least, there is a wonderful melodious song of the truce that is echoing throughout the valley, and it is emanating, that means it's coming out from the depths of the valley. And this sweet song of the truce, it is, you know, it is like a beautiful, sweet, you know, dark, sweet secret that is coming out from the valley. So you see, these pictures will make it more clear to you. You have a woman chopping sticks. The woman has taken the liberty. She has come out. Why? Because the rain has stopped today. The crow is also enjoying basking in the sunshine, and the crow is shaking the raindrops. At the same time, you see, you can see this is a truce, okay? And you can see that how the song, the melodious tune of the truce, you see it is echoing throughout the valley. So now we'll move on to the next slide, and this is August 12th. You see, I'm doing the model reading. Endless rain and a permanent mist. We haven't seen the sun for 8 or 9 days. Everything damp and soggy. Nowhere to go. Pace the room. Look out of the window at a few bobbing umbrellas. At least it isn't cold rain. The hillsides are lush as late monsoon flowers begin to appear. Wild balsam, dahlia, begonias, and ground orchids. So you see, August 12th, you see there was incessant rain. It was raining completely, and a permanent mist. There was a permanent mist with no sunshine for 9 days altogether. So each and everybody was locked inside the house with nowhere to venture. That means nowhere to go out. And looking out of the window, you see a few popping umbrellas. So umbrellas were popping out. Late monsoon flowers were showing up. So what were the late monsoon flowers? You see the wild balsam, dahlia, begonias, and ground orchids. So in the next slide you can see the floral beauty. So these are the flowers. The first is the dahlia, then you have the balsam, then you have the orchids, okay, and the begonias. So these are some of the flowers, the beauty of the hillside. August 31st. So here you see it is the last day of August, and the last monsoon growth has reached its peak. The sails of the cobra lily are turning red, signifying that the rains are coming to an end. In a few days the ferns will start turning yellow, but right now they are still firm, green and upright. Ground orchids, mauve lady slipper and white butterfly orchids put on a fashion display on the grassy slopes of Lambert. White dahlia, red, yellow and magenta rear their heads from the rocky crevices where they have taken hold. Snakes and rodents, flooded out of their holes and burrows, take shelter in roofs, attics and godowns. A shrill are welcome all the same. So you see, August 31st is the day when the lush monsoon growth, lush means rich, the rich monsoon growth has reached its peak. You see now the seeds of the cobra lily, as I have shown you the picture of cobra lily, the seeds are turning red, and this indicates that the rain has come to, finally the rain has come to an end. So the beautiful flowers are decorating the valley of Lander. So what is Lander? Lander is the name of the place, okay, in Missouri. So Lander, here the valley is beautifully decorated with orchids, mock lady slipper, white butterfly orchids. These are all the names of the flowers. Not only the flowers, but the snakes and the rodents. Okay, the rodents are, you see, the mouse-like animals, okay, which have very strong front teeth. So these rodents are also taking shelter in the roof and the attics and go down. Why? Because of the rain, the holes, the burrows are flooded with water, and now they have come to take shelter here. So you can see what is the meaning of an attic. Attic is a space under the roof of a house, often used for storing things. And you see the grandmother, she starts admonishing. Admonishes means to scold. So she's scolding the children not to kill the shrew. Shrew, you know, as chuchundas. Shrew is called chuchundas in Hindi. And they are lucky. This is a superstitious belief. But they believe that these chuchundas are lucky because they bring money. And you see, coincidentally, the writer is also saying that the next day he received a mail and he received some amount of money. So, this, you know, the flowers, you see, they are rearing their heads from the crevices. Crevices, you see holes, okay, that are made, okay. These are the rocks and the flowers are coming out, okay, rearing their head out from these crevices, the holes. This is the cobra lily, and when the cobra lily, the seeds, they turn red, it indicates that the end of the monsoon is near. You can see these are some of the flowers. This is the white butterfly orchids, mock lady slipper, and crown orchids. So you can imagine the beauty of the place when such type of flowers decorate the valley, decorate the land. Okay, so coming to October 3. So October, it's the time, winter time. So we have gone straight from monsoon into winter rain, snow at high altitude. After an evening hailstorm, the sky and hills are suffused with a beautiful golden light. So October 3, you see the monsoon rain has finally gave way to the winter rain. So now this is the end of the monsoon, but the winter has come and you can experience rain during the winter season also. After a hailstorm, you see the sky is completely clear and hills were completely drenched, soaked with a beautiful golden light. So suffused means spread over. So the hills were completely spread over. You see the hills and you can see golden light, okay, that is completely spreading over the hills. So this is what, now we come to January 26. And this date, you know, the writer is feeling quite depressed, and in his depressed and sad mood, he has penned down a small poem. So let's read what he has to say to us. Winter rains in the hills. He is saying, in the hushed silence of the house, when I am quite alone, and my friend who was here has gone. It is very lonely, very quiet, as I sit in a liquid silence. A silence within, surrounded by the rhythm of the rain, the steady drift of water on leaves, on lemons, on roof, drumming on the drenched dahlias and window panes, while the mist holds the house in a dark chalice. As I pause near the window, the rain stops and starts again, and the trees, no longer green but grey, menace me with their loneliness. So let's see that what he wants to say to the poem. So you see here he is saying that the writer is all alone because his friend who had come to visit him, he has gone away, and there is complete silence in his house. And he is telling that this silence is liquid silence. Now liquid, you know, liquid has a tendency to spread everywhere. In the same way, he means to say that the silence is also all pervading. It is spread in every corner of his house. Okay? It is there is peace. The silence you see is in complete contrast with the pitter-patter sound of the rain outside. So there is a contrast between the rain outside and the silence inside. But everything outside you see is completely drenched. So you can see water everywhere on the leaves, the lemon, roofs, dahlias, window panes. So everything is completely drenched. He is completely silent, okay? He is in a pensive mood. He is very depressed because his friend has left him and he has gone. The rain stops and then starts again. And the most beautiful picture, the most beautiful imagery is the mist that is holding the house in its lap in a gentle and loving way. So what's the meaning of caress? Caress means to hold somebody in a gentle and a loving way. You can understand, you can imagine a picture where a small baby is on the lap of his mother and the mother is gently caressing the baby. So in the same way the mist here also is holding the house, and it is holding the house, caressing the house. The rain stops and then it starts again, and the trees, they have turned grey. And grey is a color that is always associated with isolation, with loneliness. The trees have turned grey because it is the winter season and the snow is everywhere, and the entire atmosphere is threatening him with loneliness and isolation. So what's the meaning of menace? Menace means a threat or a danger. So what is threatening here? The atmosphere is threatening here. The writer is in a very depressed mood and will pen down this beautiful poem in this mood. Now we come to the last date, that is March 23. So March, this is almost by the end of March. You see that is the end of winter also. And the day you see saw the sky overcast with black clouds. So during this day you see the sky was overcast with clouds, and it was black clouds. It hailed marbles, hailstones for half an hour. So marbles are here the hailstones, okay, that are referred to as marbles. When you are directly referring to something as marbles, you see here it's a case of metaphor where the hailstones are referred to as marbles. So when it cleared the sky, a rainbow was formed across it. So let me read it once more. It will be very clear to you. Late March, end of winter. The blackest cloud I have ever seen squatted over Monsoon. So you see the blackest cloud. If you see overcast, the sky was overcast with the black cloud, and it hailed marbles for half an hour. So there was hailstorm for half an hour, nothing like a hailstorm to clear the sky. And after the hailstorm, you see the sky is completely clear, and you could easily see a rainbow forming. So you can see the rainbow across the sky, and this is the end, end of the diagram. So I hope that you have understood the chapter very well. So before recapitulation, I want to tell you something about the literary tools. See, English is a beautiful language, and the writers, they use beautiful expressions, okay, in order to enhance the beauty of the language. So you see some of the figures of speech that have been used in this chapter. They are personification, simile, and metaphor. So what is personification actually? So when you assign the qualities of a person, the characteristics of a person to something that is not human or that is not alive. So a non-living thing is attributed with the characters of a human being. So that is the case of personification. So for example, you see if the poet is writing that lightning danced across the sky. So lightning is an inanimate object. Okay, lightning is something that is not living. But here it is saying that the lightning is dancing across the sky. Only the human beings and the living creatures, they can dance. But here the lightning is dancing. So here this is a case of personification where the lightning is personified. In the same way in the chapter it is said that mist comes climbing up the hills. We can see that only the living beings can climb up the hills, but here the mist is being personified and it has been shown climbing up the hills. And the wind howled in the night, the howling of the wind again, the wind is again personified, the mist holding the house in dark caress. So the mist is holding the house, and again it is a case of personification. Coming to simile. So what is simile? Simile and metaphor both are comparisons. When you compare two things, okay, when there is a comparison between two different things and you are using the words like or as, okay, that is the case of simile. For example, you see, I can say that you are very brave, okay, you fought very bravely, but instead of saying you fought bravely, if I say that you are as brave as a lion, the spelling of the lion is here mistakenly written, it is L-I-O-N, please neglect it. So you see, you are as brave as a lion if this is said here. So I am comparing a person, okay, with a lion and I am using the word as. So this is a case of simile. But if I say the same thing in a different way, if I say you were a lion in the fight, okay, I am saying the same thing. You are as brave as a lion or you were a lion in the fight, but here I am using the word as. When I am comparing between a person and a lion, it is a case of simile. But when I am saying that you were a lion, okay, so here I am using a metaphor that's the direct comparisons. Okay, so here you have the direct comparison, here you have the indirect comparison. So metaphor, you know, there is indirect comparison between two things that are not alike. So if I say you were a lion in the fight, if I use like and as, the words like and as, then it's a case of simile. But if I use it, you were a lion in the fight, without like and without as, for example, it held marbles for a month. So it held marbles. So I did not say that the hailstones were like marbles. I directly refer to hailstones as marbles. So you see, it held marbles for an hour. It is also a case of metaphor. So these are some of the literary tools that we use to enhance the beauty of the language. So now let's take a quick recapitulation. So talking about Ruskin Bond, you have already seen that how closely he observes nature, and he has written the beauty of the nature. He has painted beautiful bird pictures. I think shortly you have been transported to Monsoon, the place where he is talking about. So he is talking about the silent miracles of nature. June 24, basically what did we see? We saw the onset of the monsoon mist, and we saw how what miracles the mist created. Okay, and here 25th June, you see the nature. You saw that how the nature enjoyed the first swish of the rain. The nature was enjoying. You see the cobra lily was also protruding its head out. The people were enjoying everything. And June 27, we have the seasonal visitors. For example, you remember the leopard and you remember the leeches. Okay, there were many flowers also. August 2, he is talking about his emotional impact. The emotional impact of the rain on the writer. How he connected, his spirit connected with the sound of the rain outside. August 3, again the rain stops, and when the rain stops, the people, they take liberty to go out, and we have seen many images of how the creatures are enjoying outdoor. Okay, the song of the trees, the melodious song. August 12, you come to the endless rain and you see the monsoon flowers there. You had the pictures in the beginning only. August 31 is the date, okay, where the monsoon has almost come to an end. The lush monsoon growth is at its peak. We have seen the nature in its abundance. And October 3 and January 26, October is time when we have entered the winter season. So you have seen the winter rain and how beautifully the poet has penned down a poem when his friend left him, and he has written everything about his emotional state, about how he spiritually connected with the rain, and March 23rd, finally the end of winter and a rainbow in the sky. So, okay, so this was all. Thank you, students. I hope that this PowerPoint presentation would help you to have a better knowledge about the chapter. Thank you so much.